Hello, poets. I am going to demonstrate how to create a Google Sites website that you can use for your portfolio this quarter. And you'll have to bear with me. I'm learning this as we go myself. So I hope this will be helpful to all of you. So the first thing you need to do is go to Google Drive, and from there you're going to start a new kind of product. And you'll have to go probably all the way down to More and hover over that. And then from the More category, you will see Google Sites. So when I click on that, it will open a new tab with a new website page. So this is the building blocks of a website page, and I'm going to just show you some of the things you need to do to get started with building your first page for your portfolio website. So the first thing I'm going to do is name my site. And you'll see once I do this, once I click out of the title box here, it's going to actually give my website that name as well. The next thing I can do is go over here to Themes at the right of the page. And when I click on Themes, it gives me some very basic themes I can use to create my site, and I kind of like the look of the vision theme, so I'm going to click on that one. And you'll see that they dropped in an image for the background as part of this theme, and you also can choose different colors to make the page look the way you want it to look. If I don't especially like this background image, I can choose to add another image over here in the left-hand side of the page. I'm going to click on Image, and I'm going to choose to upload an image. And I'm going to choose a sunset. And, of course, you can use whatever you want, what makes sense to you, what will reflect you, and what you want to say about yourself and your poetry. All right, so now this is my home page, and I want to give my home page a title. I'm going to call this Poetry Extravaganza. And the text here is a little too big, so I'm going to highlight the text and then choose a smaller font size here so that it doesn't look quite so overwhelming on the page. All right, so now I have a beginning, and the next thing I need to do is decide how I want to add elements to this page. And each of you, one of the first things you'll want to have on your portfolio website page is kind of an About Me section. So what I'm going to do next, over here on the right, you have options. We've already used themes. And Insert allows you to insert different elements on each page that you're creating. Pages allows you to add extra pages to your website. So you'll have a choice to make whether you want to have everything just be on your home page and have it scroll down a really long ways, or you can break your website up into pages. Maybe you'll have one page that's the About Me page. Maybe you'll have one page that is all of your poems and revisions and reflections on those revisions. And then maybe you'll have one page that is your self-assessment of your work for the quarter. You might decide you want different pages for each poem. So maybe you want each poem that you submit, you have one page for that poem, and on that page you show the original, the revision, and the reflection about your revisions. So that is something you'll need to play around with, how you want to actually organize your website. And we'll talk more, I'll give you more information about that a little bit later. But for now, I'm going to go back to the Insert option here. And you'll see when I click Insert that it gives me the option to insert a text box, to embed a link, to connect to something in Google Drive, or to insert an image. But what I really like are these content blocks that allow me to use some of their formatting and just then operate within that formatting based on what I want to do. And for each content block, this little icon means that's an easy place to drop an image in. And this little icon means that is a place to include text. And above that, the kind of darker shaded line means that it's a place to put in a heading. So you can see that there's content blocks that are just images, content blocks that are a combination of image and text, or you can have several images and text. So for now, what I want to do is create my About Me section on my home page. So I'm actually going to use this content block, and you'll see when I click on it, it just automatically adds that to my home page. So over here, I can choose to upload another image. So I'm going to go back to my computer, and I think I have an image here. I'm going to use another kind of soothing image of a beach in Maui here. And then for the heading, I'm going to say About Me. And then down here is where I can insert some more text. And so here I might say, I am so excited about how I have reignited my love of poetry this quarter. And for each of you, you can decide. You might write something now as you initially create your website, and then later in the quarter, as you get closer to the end of the quarter, you might want to return to this page and rethink what you're adding on this About Me page as you can reflect on what your learning and growth has been over the 10 weeks of the quarter. So anyway, here I can include as much as I want about myself. Maybe it has to do about me as a poet. Maybe it has just to do about me more generally. You get to decide what you include on your About Me page and about yourself. So after this section, I've done this content block with About Me information. And now down over here, I'm still in the insert area. You can insert all kinds of things. Most of these I don't think you'll want to use. It can get complicated. It can get messy as you try to put a lot of things into your website. It depends on your experience level and confidence level. But one thing I'm going to make use of are divider lines to divide different sections of my home page. So I'm going to insert a divider, and you'll just see that has added a kind of very soft line here to help divide sections. And then I'm going to go back up, and I think what I want to add next is my artist statement. I want that to be on my About Me page. And so here I think I'll add another block now. So you see each time I insert a block, it just adds it one step further down the page. And here I'm going to name this block Artist Statement. And again, if I want, I can change the size of this font. I can change the style of the font. I can change the color. So you have a lot of options as you start playing around with the different tools and features. I can add another image here. And then for the text part of it, I could either write my full artist statement in that text block, or I could link to a Google Doc where I have written out my artist statement in the Google Doc. So that is entirely up to you. And in fact, let me just show you how this would work. If I want to link to, I'm kind of playing around with this myself. I don't know exactly how this is going to work. All right, and then for my link, I've written my artist statement in a Google Doc. I'm going to choose the share option. Remember, you need to have the anyone with the link option selected. You don't want it to be restricted. You want it to be anyone with the link. For my artist statement, I don't want people necessarily to comment on it, so I'm going to keep it as viewer and then copy link. So then I'm going to go back to my page and paste the link in. And so now what I have is a way for my reader, so now my reader can use this link and click into that Google Doc to read the artist statement. So this is a little overview for how to get started with creating your website page. What you're doing for this week is just starting to play around with this tool and experiment with creating a first page that has a little bit of the About Me elements. Maybe adding some images, adding whatever you want to about yourself. Your final portfolio is something that I encourage you to work on all quarter long, every week maybe. Return to it, add the new poems you want to include, work on the revisions that you want to have for a particular poem, write out the reflection for that poem and revision. And that way you're not in a crunch at the end of the quarter to try to get all of it done in one week or a couple of days. It will be an awful lot of work at the end. So I'm going to create one more video for you showing you how to share your link once you're ready to share it at the end of this week. And I hope you have fun playing around with this. I know it is. I've had a good time with it.